You are here on purpose, with a purpose by design and not by default. And it is your time right now to share your story on Right Now. Hello and welcome back to Right Now, an author's platform. I am Dr. Pamela Henkel, and I'm so grateful that you are here. And today we have another incredible co-author, collaborative author, whatever you want to call it, of the amazing international best-selling book, Women of the Power Voice. And I have with me a power voice right there. She is Miss Irma. Woo! Welcome to Right Now. Tell us, well, introduce yourself. We want to know about you.
Thank you, Pamela. Thank you for having me on in your program. My name is Irma Matos. I'm the co-author of Women of the Power Voice, also Boss Your Lane, which is a business book. I have my own business for 33 years, property management. My sister is running it now, so I am now a consultant for the company and some of my clients, my ex-clients that are still my clients. And I am writing a book. It's about finished, called A Noble Profession: Life Lessons to Inspire Your Soul and Live in Abundance. The noble profession is the teaching profession. I had wonderful teachers in my life, and I want to honor and pay homage to them. Nothing happens in this world without a teacher. And teachers are not given enough credit for everything they do. They should be revered. And I want to bring that up. I want to bring up that awareness about the teaching profession. I had a great teacher, specifically in high school, was my drama teacher, who taught me how to speak better English. Actually, I'm Cuban. I was born in Cuba. I came to the U.S. in 1970. It's going to be 52 years in April that I've been living in Miami, Florida. And I had to learn English, and I was shy. I learned it. I knew it, but I wouldn't speak it because I was afraid I was going to get stuck in the middle of a conversation. So my teacher helped me to gain confidence, and she helped me with my pronunciation. And so she became my mentor, my teacher, my friend, and we had a fabulous friendship until the day she died. And she also wrote a book. She wrote a book called Jean Who, about her life story. At some point, she found out that her parents tried to abort her. And the book has a pro-life message. And she wanted to make a movie out of that book in order to impact a lot of people and save lives. But she passed away in 2003. And I'm taking that on now. I have no idea how I'm going to get it done, but it will get done with God's help. I'm going to get that movie done. And that's one way of honoring her and paying homage to her and everything she did for me and for many students, not just for me. She was a wonderful teacher. So
that's amazing. Like, I'm just sitting here going, wow, okay, so you're an author, you're a consultant, you're a speaker, but there's this other side of you that is all about uplifting others and really looking to, well, in this case, teachers, those that may not have been recognized for what they should be. Your heartbeat is to uplift them. And then to hear that this drama teacher who helped you so much has this incredible story about her life, that you have picked up the baton on that and you're running with it. and going to fulfill that vision that she had, that she might not have seen it all the way to fruition in her life, but without even knowing it, she's passed that baton to you, and you picked it up and you're running with it. That speaks multitudes about the quality person, the heartfelt person, the spiritual person that you are. And that is so beautiful. And that leads me to the next question, which you've partially already answered, but that was, Irma, tell us, who are you? So what could you add to that? Who are you?
Before I answer that, I just wanted to say that I don't know what my life would have been like without my teacher in it.
Mhm.
You know, so imagine if she wouldn't have been born, I have no idea what would have happened with me, or which way I would have gone.
Sure.
Uh, so so I just wanted to say that. Who
Thank
am
you.
I? Who am I? Who am I? I am a child of God.
Mhm.
I am a spiritual being having a human experience. Okay. And I'm saying that because that's what we all are. That's what
Yes.
we all are. And a lot of times people, when they're asked, who are you? They start talking about what they do. You know, well, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm an accountant, I'm this, you know, that's what you do for a living. That's not who you are,
Yeah,
you know?
that
Uh,
is
so,
true.
so, and we need to connect with that spirituality so that
Mhm.
we become happier people. You know, I had my business for 33 years. I was taking care of buildings, you know, solving problems,
Yeah.
uh, managing properties. But there came a time when that didn't feel like the thing that I should continue to do. You know, it was this discontent. You know, um, that I thought I could be doing other things. And so my sister is running the business now, and I'm writing books, and I'm speaking, and I am being interviewed by Pamela, and doing all these things. I kept. I'm also a real estate investor, and I continue to do that. And I've met a lot of people. I've met so many people, wonderful people. After I decided to get into writing books and speaking and inspiring people.
Mhm.
So now I feel that I am living my purpose and my mission. And
I love that.
go
You're
ahead.
living your purpose. You know, that just strikes me. So I want to circle back to something, and then we're going to come back to living your purpose. You were talking about your drama teacher and where would you have been if she hadn't been born, and and you talked about how she was impacted your life. And I wrote that down, and this thought, bubbled up inside of my that said, one life impacts so many lives. And that people need to realize that their life and their story matters, just like your teachers mattered. And because she impacted your life, you're impacting so many other people's lives. One person's life will impact dominoes, domino effect. But there are people that we impact that are really engaged being a world changer. And that's you. You came from a place of, well, not feeling very confident about your speaking ability, or you could do it, but like, what if I end up in a conversation and up jumps this teacher? And what did you say her name was?
Well, her name was Jean.
Jean
She had a nickname. We called her Muskie.
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 Up jump Muskie, and becomes this force in your life that really brought you out of your shell, and you're saying, I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for her. And now look at what you're doing. You're living your purpose. Muskie brought you to the place where you could step into your purpose. And that is so powerful. And now you are paying it forward by helping other people, but you're also paying it back because you're giving tribute to her life. And that is just so phenomenal, Irma. Amazing.
I'm also a missionary. I after I retired from my company, I went to Mexico a couple of times as a missionary, and it's amazing how much you learn and how much you grow personally and spiritually when you go serve as a missionary. But you end up gaining a heck of a lot more than you give in growth and spirituality. There was one of the times that I went to the mission. We used to go and teach catechism and visit the sick. So I went to visit this lady. We would go out in a group. Some of us were missionaries. Some were local people that would take us and show us, where to go. And so we went to see this lady that was ill. She had stomach problems. She was very, 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 very thin, very thin. She had no teeth. And she looked really, really, really old. So I asked her a couple of times, how old are you? And she said, I am the youngest of the three.
Oh.
So we talked for a while, and then I asked again, so how old are you? I am the youngest of the three. So I never got to know her age. So, but she had the yearning of being baptized. She had not been baptized, but she looked like she was in her 80s, and she said that one time she was going to be baptized, but the godmother never showed up to the baptism, and that she still had her white dress in the closet. So I said, well, we're here for a week, and if during that week you find a godmother, then you can get baptized. But if you don't, I'll be happy to be your godmother. And she said, okay. She was okay with that, and I said, fine. I'll be more than happy to be your godmother. So what happened was, I didn't hear any more about it until I think it was either the last day or the day before the last day. We're in mass, and one of the missionaries comes over to me and says, Leonidas is here. That's the name of the lady, Leonidas. Leonidas is here, and she's going to get baptized, and you're going to be the godmother. So I was like, oh, really? And she said, we didn't tell you before because we wanted to surprise you, So it was very emotional, and it was very, it was just, it was incredible. And not only was she baptized, she received First Communion, and she was also confirmed. So she got all her sacraments at that one day. And she made a comment to the priest. She said, "Thank you, Father, for getting me out of purgatory." So I thought that was interesting, and I was hoping to see her again, but she passed away 6 months after that.
Isn't that something?
Isn't that something? Huh?
That is something.
6 months after that. So I feel that I helped save her soul. I couldn't go back because then the pandemic hit, and so we haven't been able to be back. So even if she hadn't passed away, I wasn't. We haven't been able to go back. So, but you have to be aware. You have to listen to the Spirit.
Yes,
because that's what I felt at the time when I met with her. I said, well, I can be your godmother. I mean, let not uh, the baptism stop because you don't have a godmother. It just doesn't make any sense. So I never thought I would have a godchild that would
Right.
be in her 80s, and it was Mexican. So you never know. You never know where God is going to lead you. It's incredible.
It is such an incredible story, Irma, and the goodness of God, right? Like the goodness of God, that he knew that that was a desire of her heart. And that, that could have been the main reason for the whole mission trip, right? I mean, he put that together, and he certainly had other things and serving in places and stuff that you were doing together. But it could have been all set up for that woman, because that's how good he is. And you were obedient, followed that leading, that inner leading from God, to go on that trip. And then to have those words come out of your mouth. Can you imagine what that meant to her? I mean, I guess we can imagine, because what she said to the priest, that you came to bring that salvation, that deliverance, that completion to her, so that she could pass into heaven with total peace, and know that she felt that she had done what she needed to do to be in right standing for that transition. That is huge. And missions work is a huge part of my heart. I've been on the mission field myself a few times, and it's always amazing what transpires, and it's always outside of what the itinerary is, right? That is beautiful. I think I remember hearing that you did missions work, but I've never heard any of those stories. It's just another part of who you are. And we want to hear more about who you are. We want to hear about your backstory. So we know that you came to America from Cuba. We know that you're a writer. We know that you're living your purpose. We know you have this heartbeat for teachers and to be on the mission field and helping people. But give us a little sneak peek into your backstory that brings us up to date with you said, now I feel I'm living my purpose. So how did you get to now?
Well, I've always had a connection with the church and with God as a child. I served at the church in the corner of my house. I used to help the priest in mass, and I used to help him baptized. That was in late 60s, because I came in 1970. But when I came to the US, it was such a big change, and so many things to do and learn. I got disconnected from the church for many years. And I always wanted to have my own business. So I started my own business. And it was a service business, because I was providing property management. And so, but then I found out about the Emmaus retreat. The Emmaus retreat is a weekend retreat where you have a personal encounter with Jesus Christ. And not only was it the best weekend of my life, I joined the team that coordinates the retreats, so I'm part of that team, and I feel the happiest when I am serving in that retreat. That's when I just come to life, and that's because women come on Friday evening with the weight of the world on their shoulders, and they leave on Sunday evening with a spark in their eyes and a big smile, and just a transformation is something amazing. And it is such a joy, and it's so fulfilling, for me to be a part of that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
The
Go ahead.
missions came after Emmaus. So first I did the Emmaus retreat. I served in the Emmaus retreat, and then some years after that is that I got involved in the missions. But the two things that have changed my life the most are the Emmaus retreat and the missions. I mean, I'm a totally different person from before. You know, I'm more.
How are you different? How are you different than from before?
I'm more aware of my surroundings. I have more compassion. Before I was all business, you know. This is, you know, all business. I was arrogant. I used to think, you know, I knew it all and could take care of everything. And I would walk into an elevator and not say anything. Now I walk in an elevator and I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is. And when I leave the elevator, I say, "You all have a great day." Oh, I wouldn't do that. I was kind of shy that way. You know, I wouldn't talk to people. I wouldn't talk to strangers. You know, and all of these things that I've learned lately have made me bold. You know, now I talk to anybody. Now you know, I'm here talking to you. I'm writing books. You know, it's okay. It's fine. It feels good, and I definitely came out of my shell. When I was younger, there was a shell around me, and I definitely came out of my shell. And I'll tell you, now that I remember, my teacher, Muskie, she used to talk to anybody and everybody when she went out. You know, like we would go out to dinner or lunch or whatever. And there was one time that she actually got up from the table, went over to another table where there was this old lady with a hat on, and she was alone. And so she went over there and she spoke to the lady, and then she came back to the table. And I'm like, I don't understand why you always have to talk to strangers. You know, I mean, I couldn't understand that everywhere. She was in a store, or she always had to talk to everybody. Well, live and learn. Live and learn. After so many years, now I understand.
Sure.
Now I understand. You have to have awareness. You have to be aware of your surroundings. You need to acknowledge people and say a kind word and change their day. And that's what she did. That's what she did. And so finally, I got it.
And that's what you're doing now. That's what you're doing. So not only are you running with the baton of telling her story, you're really living out. You're a living legacy of your teacher. She imparted that to you. So you were quiet, very business, you know, no muss, no fuss kind of person. Just kind of bossing your own lane, right? Staying right there. Had to put that plug in. But then beyond that, then you end up in the Power Voice Academy with Les Brown. I was there too, which ends up leading us to the Women of the Power Voice book. So I see this transition and this just change in you. So you go from over here to being very quiet and very focused businesswoman to all of a sudden now you've had this life transformation experience at the retreat. Now you're serving and at that retreat and helping other women experience what you experienced, serving them. Now you're out in the mission field serving over there. So this businesswoman thought, which is still with you, that's still part of who you are, but this one track mind of like my business, my purpose has now it's shattered. That's not who Irma is. The real Irma is starting to come out like a butterfly out of a cocoon. And now you land in Power Voice. Tell us, how did this happen? I'm amazed because you went from here to a retreat to missions work, and now all of a sudden, how do you end up in Power Voice?
Well, I took this class with Jon Talarico, Thinking into Results. Because I am the eternal student. I love to learn. And I wanted to learn about how you can use your mind to get to the results that you want.
Mhm.
So I was in that class. I believe you were in that class as well.
Yep.
And well, I met so many great people in that class, you included. I mean, we've kept it up. We
Yep.
kept connecting and kept the friendship. So I'm blessed. I feel very, very blessed. And through that class with Jon Talarico is that I got connected to the Power Voice with Les Brown, which he's just an incredible human being. And I learned so much from him. And so I got to speak at the, you did too, at the Women's International Day Summit. And from there, this book came out. This was created, and
Yeah.
and I say yes because you have to say yes, and you have to make decisions. And so I said yes, I want to be on that, and here we are. Here we are, and now I'm also right now I'm also learning with. I am involved with the Brave Thinking Institute. Which Mary Morrissey is the founder. And I was certified as a life transformation dream builder coach.
Woo!
Last September. And so it happens that Mary Morrissey, when she started her career, she had a mentor. And his name was Jack Boland. And when she met with Jack Boland the first time, he told her that he was only going to do this mentoring for 3 people. So when she met with him the first time, guess who were the other 2?
Who were they?
One was Wayne Dyer.
Oh my gosh.
And the other one was Les Brown.
No, my gosh. Seriously?
Yeah. Yes. So now I'm being coached by Mary Morrissey, who was who's known Les Brown for 40 years, or more or less a long time, who was part of her first coaching with this this mentor that they had. And it's like, wow. It's like life is a circle, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. It's
It
amazing.
is.
Isn't it amazing?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh, Irma, that is such a cool story. So you come from Cuba to Miami, is that right? So
Yes,
you landed
yes.
in Florida, Miami, which is
Yes.
where you stayed, but you start a business, got a little bit away from things of faith, got focused on other stuff, but you're directed right back to it, plunged into it in the retreat and the missions. And then you're directed to a coaching program with Jon Talarico, Thinking into Results, where now you're going to learn how to master your mind, to become the master of your mind. So not everything else out there is mastering it for you. And then end up in the Power Voice. And from there, end up over here in this other coaching group. This is just like, again, like this full circle. But what I'm amazed about out of all of it, it's all amazing. How about this? The woman that didn't want to speak because she didn't want to get stuck in a conversation, or she was just the more quiet one or the more reserved one, is now speaking all over the place. And you have been equipped, you've trained, you sat at the knee of Mr. Les Brown like I did. Every Wednesday night for a couple of hours, we'd sit there when he live and in person would teach us and would communicate with each one of us and get involved in our stories. So that's amazing that you would end up there. Who would have ever thought that you would end up taking Power Voice speaking? Who would ever thought it? And then you are put on his summit. So tell us about that. What is that like to share that cyber stage with Mr. Les Brown, to know that he's picked you to speak with him, to know that he's going to get up, be the first speaker, and he's going to talk about how proud he is of all of these ladies and that he has approved of you. What was that like to have all of those people, I mean, thousands and thousands that are watching and that are rewatching? What is it like to have experienced that?
Well, I definitely felt blessed. I was blessed to be selected to speak at the summit and to be able to deliver my message and inspire people. Because I always say that I am proof of the American dream. And if I can do it, anybody can. Anybody else can.
I love that. Proof of the American dream.
I am proof of the American dream. Absolutely.
Were you nervous to speak with Les? To be on his stage? Or were you, like, you keep saying that you were blessed, so were you feeling more honored and blessed, or were you nervous, pacing back and forth waiting for your time to speak? How were you feeling?
Actually, I prayed about it. I was in prayer before my turn. I practiced and I prayed about it, and I was calm. I was calm. And the other day I was thinking, I've been in all these podcasts and interviews and like now, and I'm never anxious or nervous. It feels so natural to me, and before all these books and before all of this, I was never interviewed. I know, didn't do any of this. And you would think that you will be nervous and you have some anxiety and this kind of stuff. No anxiety, no, I'm not nervous. I'm talking to you like if we were sitting in my living room or in your living room and just having a conversation. And who knows how many people are going to be watching this, but it is what it is, So I feel very natural. It feels natural to be telling my story.
Oh, it's so amazing. And you are a natural at it. It's very comfortable. You're very easy to communicate with. You tell your story so well. It is almost like this person you're describing back how many years ago is not even the same person, because looking at you, I would never think, oh, she was shy. What? Oh, she was kind of snooty. What? Never. She was intimidated to have long conversations. No way. I would never think that was you. Look at how you have evolved under the hand of grace. But you said yes. And that's important that we recognize that, right? Because we can have all the divine opportunities, God, heaven, just raining down on us. But if we don't say yes and be willing to do the work,
nothing happens.
Nothing happens. And you said yes, showed up, and did the work. And look at you today. Yeah, you are a natural. It's as natural as breathing for you. It's so amazing. And that circles me back to something that you said at the beginning, is that you feel like you are living your purpose. And to me, I mean, that answer is a resounding yes, because of how natural it is for you to communicate and share and talk and speak, present, right? It's so comfortable for you. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? When did you realize, like, I'm in my purpose? How did that evolve?
I think, serving is what makes me the happiest. Like I mentioned before, when I think of the Emmaus retreat and all the things that I do in it, and how I feel when I'm there, it's I just feel so happy and so fulfilled and so helpful, that I am making a difference in these women's lives. Mm-hmm. So service, I would say, is the most important thing for me. Speaking and writing is a form of service, because you are performing a service for other people. The people are going to be listening to you. and the people are going to be reading what you're writing. And every time I sit down to write anything, I invoke the Holy Spirit, and I say, let it be what you want that I write or that I speak, what you want that other people, that you want other people to listen to or write or read about. Let it be your message, not mine.
Mm.
So um, I the change in me started with the Emmaus retreat. Definitely. Definitely. And then it continued with the mission.
Mhm.
And now it's continuing with all this writing and all these speaking and all these things and learning and taking in the awareness. It's important to be aware of what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're doing, and whatever it is that you do, it has to um, fulfill you. If you feel fulfilled, then you know you're on the right track.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not that when I had my business, I wasn't on the right track. I was providing a service, and I always wanted to have my own business, and I performed that job well. But I've learned that you can do many things. You don't have to get stuck in a particular area or in a particular career. When you get the uncomfortable feeling, because that's what I got was an uncomfortable feeling. I just wasn't feeling comfortable anymore doing what I was doing.
Sure.
And then you just have to realize that and say, well, okay, I don't feel comfortable doing this anymore, so that means that I need to do something else.
Mm.
And then you just have to connect to higher power.
Right.
Connect to higher power for vision, for vision. You have to have a vision of what you need to do, and where you need to go. Need more than want. I think you can want many things, but something is to want something, and another thing is to need something.
Right.
And I think that if you need to help people, if you feel a need to help people, if you feel a need to inspire people, teach people, then you need to do that.
I love how you worded that. And I wrote down a couple of things here, Irma. You said, when you feel fulfilled, you're on the right track. And then you followed that up and said, hey, I was doing a good job at in my career, but you obviously weren't feeling fulfilled. Being fulfilled is more than I've got enough money in the bank to pay my bills. It's more than feeling like, oh, I'm a success because I closed another deal, right? There is another level, we'll call it God, because that's to me who it is.
Uh-huh.
And you even made reference to that. You said you have to connect for vision, and you said connecting to your higher power, connecting to God for vision. So it was at the time that Irma said, I'm not just going to be connecting to Irma and running my own game plan here, but I'm going to connect for higher vision. I'm going to connect for what real vision is. And when you did that, you went from retreat to missions to Les Brown, Power Voice, summits, books. I mean, I see the progression like a staircase that's going up, 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 up. It's like, what's next? It's amazing to even think about for you, but you bring it back to, you made a connection for vision. And the scriptures say without a vision, the people what? They perish, right? And perish doesn't necessarily mean die. It means that they're lifeless. They have no function. They're just existing in life, right? And so even though you were a successful businesswoman, you were not a woman with vision because you hadn't connected to the one who had vision for you. But you connected, and that vision led you to fulfillment. And now you're on this platform today and on many others saying, I'm living my purpose. Those are powerful words. So many people out there can't say, I'm living my purpose, because they're not.
You have to get uncomfortable
Talk
in
about
order,
that. Talk about that.
in order to grow. Yeah, as long as you keep doing what you're doing, nothing is going to change and nothing is going to happen.
Yeah.
So you have to come out of your comfort zone and get uncomfortable for things to start happening. In other words, when I went to the mission, I was uncomfortable. Okay, there was no hot water, no air conditioning,
Right.
no internet, no phone. The first time it was one bathroom for 11 people, and it was outside of the house where we were staying. The kitchen was also outside.
Mm-hmm.
Second time it was a little better. We had two bathrooms for about the same number of people, about 11 people, but we had two bathrooms and it was inside the house, and the kitchen was also inside, so we improved. But it was still hot as hell because
Right.
in that area of Mexico in July it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
It's hotter than Miami. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was there. I'm like, oh my god, this is just hotter than Miami. And like I said, no phone, no internet, no hot water. I mean, we had water, but it wasn't hot. So I had to take cold showers. So, which is not the end of the world. That's not the end of the world. You know, you do that, and you come out of it a better person for having done it.
Yes.
And obviously you change people's lives, like I did this lady, Leonidas, who got baptized and got on her sacraments, and it's what a feeling, what a feeling.
Yeah. What a feeling. But that came when you were willing to get uncomfortable, when you were willing to move, into navigate new terrain, right? You were looking for something else. You had had a taste of it, of what good there was, other things that were out there, and you stepped into it. I have this question that's rolling around in my head, so I'm going to ask it to you, being that I know that you are a like-minded teacher yourself. You're teaching and educating and serving people, and that you have a desire to help people. So to that woman out there that's listening, that's saying, I feel like there isn't anything else for me, and I'm not satisfied. I mean, I'm good at what I'm doing over here, or maybe I'm not so good at what I'm doing. Gosh, I wish I could have what Irma has. I just don't know how to do it. What's the first step? What can you share with that woman today?
Well, reach into your heart. Reach into your heart. Be still. We all have to be still at some point,
Yeah.
And listen to your still small voice. That's very, very, very important. That is the voice that tells that points the way. That's the voice that points the way. And I have a story about my still small voice. Way back when, I was going to rent a townhouse many years ago, and my still small voice told me, "Don't rent to those people." It was clear. Do not rent to those people.
Mm-hmm.
So I went ahead and rented to those people. I didn't listen. And oh man, what a mess! What a mess that was. That was just horrible.
Mm.
And it's a good thing it happened when it happened early in my real estate career, because you have to learn. You have to learn so that you don't repeat the mistakes. And never, ever, 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 ever again did I not pay attention to my still small voice.
Right.
Whenever my still small voice tells me, don't do that. I don't question it. I don't do it. I don't question it. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, thank you. I'm not going to do it because you will live to regret it. You will live to regret it. I mean, I call it my little voice. That's what I call it, my voice. So, but you have to listen. You have to be aware. You have to listen, and you have to pay attention and obey it. It's not just listen. I mean, I heard it, but I didn't do what I didn't do what I was supposed to do. So,
Right.
but you learn. You learn, and then you realize that you grow, you learn, and you don't repeat the mistakes of the past. I mean, that's why you learn, and that's why you have a still small voice to help you. It helps you to guide you in the right direction. But people sometimes, like I did, don't listen. So anyone out there that wants to change their life, they're not happy, go inside. You have to go inside yourself, and you have to be still, and you have to listen what the spirit is telling you.
That's really powerful. And I love your example, even though you didn't listen. But what an example of showing us what it means to hear that still small voice, because somebody might think that they're going to hear some or some booming something. This was it might have been booming saying don't listen, don't rent to them, but
It's your intuition. It's your intuition talking.
Yes, which is connected to God. And so you were hearing that. What a great example. But this also is a great segue into your coaching, because here you're coaching us. You're talking to that woman or those women out there saying, I feel stuck. And you just said, go inside, be still, which means, settle down. And then also begin to ask and listen for that still small voice, for that direction. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your transformation coaching? And I believe you have a free offer for anybody that is on today, that is listening, that you could help them.
Yes, I am a life transformation dream builder coach. And that what that means basically is that you have to live a vision driven life. You don't let conditions, situations, and circumstances dictate what you're going to do or how you're going to live. You have to have a vision and concentrate on that vision, regardless of what's happening around you. And once you do that, things start to happen. Things start to moving. God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, infinite intelligence, start moving the pieces so that you can get to that vision that you have.
Yes.
And I have a 15-minute free call with me. That's the offer. If you want to talk to me for 15 minutes, you can reach me through my email, which is Irma Matos author @gmail.com. Irma Matos author @gmail.com. There's also my website, which is anobleprofessionbook.com, anobleprofessionbook.com, and you can contact me through that website as well. And once you contact me, then I will send you a link on how to make an appointment with me. And I will be very happy to speak with any of you and help you in any way I can.
Oh, that's so exciting. And hearing your transformation story is just proof that you are a product of the product, and that you have the spirit-led intuition to help others navigate their way as well. And that's super exciting. And Irma, wow, you're amazing. And you guys take advantage of this. Get on the call with her. Take this 15 minutes. Just do it, and let her speak into you. And you know what? Lots of people are out there looking for a mentor or a coach. And sometimes we didn't even know that we needed that. And all of a sudden the offer presents itself. So the offer is presenting itself to you all today. So take heed to that reach out and make the call. And all of that information is also for how to reach Irma is in the description as well. So Irma, anything else that you want to talk about? I know you have a book that's going to be coming out, another book coming out soon. And you've discussed that a little bit, but if you want to share any more on it, also anything else that you want to highlight or anything you want to share before we close today?
If anybody wants to pre-order the book, they can do that through the website, anobleprofessionbook.com. You can pre-order that because it will be coming out probably in the next couple of months. Happy to help anybody I can. Book the call. Contact me so that you can get your 15 minutes with me and connect to your higher power.
Yes.
Great things happen when you connect to the higher power, when you connect to God.
Absolutely. And make sure that you get the Women of the Power Voice book. Order that today from Irma and hear not just more of her story, but all of these amazing women and their stories. Your voice matters. Your story matters. There are people out there waiting to hear from you. Lives are hanging in the balance. So we have to follow our dreams. We have to be transformed. We need to get to that place where we can say what Irma is saying, I'm living my purpose, because that is when we are going to affect the lives of so many. I think of that woman on the mission field and how you were sent to her. And it was for such a time as that. And now it is for such a time as this. And so
a lot of people are stuck because they look at their circumstances, situation, and conditions that they're living in, and they don't focus on a vision. And that is the big difference. You have to focus on the vision that you want for your life, and everything else will come into place.
Beautifully said. And I wrote that down, vision-driven life. Instead of circumstances, situations, and things getting you off course and driving you in the wrong direction, you have a vision that drives you. And as Irma said, her vision came from above, which empowered her for greatness. Thank you, Irma, for being here today. You're amazing.
Thank you, Pamela.
Thank you. So awesome. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for being here today. I know you were touched and transformed by Irma's amazing story. And I want you to do a favor for me, but even more so for Irma. As Les Brown always says, like it and share it. So let's take Irma's story viral. Let's send it around the world, because you know what? There's people all around the world that need to hear her story, just like they need to hear your story. And the more we sow, the more we reap. So as you help us spread her story across the globe, it's going to come back to you. And there are going to be those to help spread your story. So do me a favor, do Irma a favor, and will you share her story with somebody today? Just like it and share it. Click on it, post it on your social media, send it in the email to somebody. Let's get her story out. And of course, get the book, Women of the Power Voice, and connect with her for your free call and all kinds of wonderful things. Thank you, everybody, for being here today, for showing up to right now. You are here on purpose, with a purpose, by design, not by default. Go on out there and be the salt and the light everywhere you go. See you next time. Bye.
Ascend Above the Crowd is the newest course by Pamela Henkel. Ascend is a self-paced email course that will come directly to your inbox and will change your mindset and your life. Each week, you will receive lessons, resources, challenges, and journal writings that will help you discover your purpose by design. It's your time to ascend above the crowd. To learn more about Ascend, go to www.purposewithpamela.com/ascend.
Pamela Henkel is the founder of the Purpose Center. Pamela is a mindset mentor, author, speaker, minister, and transformation coach. Her weekly podcast, international radio show, and television show are a lifeline that changes lives and inspires people to discover their individual potential through realizing their purpose by design. Pamela is a natural motivator and has shown many how to find their niche and transform their lives. Although success is an uphill battle, Pamela gives the necessary strategies to flourish, cheering you on every step of the way. Pamela shares from her personal experiences, education, and life as a woman in leadership, utilizing decades of knowledge. Taking the approach of, let's have coffee and chat, she will awaken your dreams and purpose by design. Are you ready for Pamela to help guide you? Email us at purposewpamela.office@gmail.com or go to her website at purposewithpamela.com.